Okay, take two. Hello and welcome once again to New Serum by Night. This is, New Serum by Night. Yeah, New Serum by Night, part of the Vampire Masquerade YouTube experiment, all under the subset of the YouTube World of Darkness. This is a flashback scene that has happened for the past couple of weeks, maybe a little more, as to what Michael's been doing. Well, you know, we haven't seen much of the retainers during Joseph's time in torpor. But during that process, we know that Bob had an investigation that he did, and presumably went around and was doing some drinks and the like. This is what Michael was doing for the past 2 weeks. We'll start off with immediately after immediately after everything's been settled in, and they know that that by owing a boon, this is set after the Prince of Elysium, so at least they know that Joseph's going to be alive for a while. Just a whistle while you work. And as he's doing this, he's tossing some couple of things. There's and all of a sudden, there's a Michael pops out of his place and goes to the post office, checks in and goes, "How you doing today? Mrs. Peabody? Yeah, I'm here to pick up the mail forwarded for Joseph's Wingian party. Thank you." And Michael picks up some. Michael picks up some packages that he's managed to get forwarded to him in the mail that he's been expecting. So he brings them back to their secret location. Of course, taking a ton of backstreets to make sure he's not followed. Not that he's ever really being followed, just the whole paranoia thing. And anyway, now that he's back in, he starts to open stuff and gets to work. The packages start off with revealing a. This is actually kind of fun. The packages start revealing a camel pack, like one of those little water packs on the back. A hose to a sort of micro Bunsen lighter that you could stick in your sleeve, kind of just above the cuff. A new camera with a transmitter. A package which will not be opened just yet, and a camera, some other doodads, a Geiger counter, and a sample of strontium-90. Just a small little rock that for educational purposes that can do radioactive decay. And Joseph is going to roll the following. He is going to specifically roll the first thing he's going to do is upon getting it out, he sets up the. He knows how to set up he puts the he aligns the he just basically first I'm going to have him roll craft to roll just to make a basic small little box for the thing. Actually, I think it comes with the box, so that's not the issue. So yeah, he just sticks it on the table. He sticks the strontium-90 on the table on a small little table that he's been working on, and the Geiger counter next to it, and he wires up the technology to his computer, for processing. And with this in mind, this is first going to be a craft roll to make sure he can do the wiring correctly. So this will be dexterity craft. So yeah, here we go. This will be like I said, this will be dexterity crafts coming up. Actually, I think this is technology. Well, we'll just do it with both. So this way, it's actually, let's do the intelligence technology first, just to make sure that he knows what he's doing here. So that's Int 3 Technology 3, and given his capability, this is new work, so we'll say difficulty 7 because it's something a little bit outside his forte. Trying to set up a Geiger counter and get the processing to work. This is going to be a bit more outside of his forte, so we'll put it at difficulty 7. And he doesn't do so well the first time. Goes to try it, realizes the wires are backwards. Let's give this another shot. Since this is a full 2 weeks he's covering here, we're doing some rotating successes. Gives it another shot. Okay, he manages to wire up the thing correctly. 3 successes, kind of gets it about half wired. Actually, you know what? Let's give it a. He thinks there's right, but something's not quite right. He takes a break. Sees that Joseph is looking. Remembers that it's time to feed him. So he takes stops for lunch, grabs makes sure he's decently eaten. Goes over, slices hand, drops a couple of drops of blood into squeezes a bit of blood down into Joseph's mouth. proceeds to put a bandage on his hand and disinfect, put a bandage on his hand, and get back to work. And we'll do his next major roll for technology to see whether or not he gets the connection working finally. And yeah, so difficulty 7, 2 more successes. So at 5, he gets the thing wired up. Now for the computer roll, which is going to be necessary for the next section. Let's see here. That's going to be intelligence computers, so it's still the same difficulty of dice. This is now more, now that he knows that he's gotten this thing set up, this is more writing some coding, but he's just simply replicating some work that he's seen done elsewhere. So this is, just trying to re-permeate it a little bit. So this will be the first of the computer rolls. Difficulty 7, so yeah, that's 3 successes. Let's have him roll a second one just to make sure that he's got the the appropriate process set up for the dice stream. Okay, so the 10 got neutralized, but another 2. We'll bump this lower to difficulty 6 because of the fact that he's finally getting a better handle on it. So either way, 2 or 3 successes, he quite clearly gets the. What has just happened with these computer and technology rolls is that he's just set up a radioactive decay source, a very small one, right next to a Geiger counter, and has basically set it up in such a way so that as the computer will now measure when the strontium-90 fires an alpha particle. Then it will stop. Then it will detect the particle. Then a timer will go off on the computer, and then wait for firing the second particle. Then it will do a second set of these. And if time 1 is longer, it will fire off a 0-bit. And if time 1 is longer, it will fire off a 1-bit. Basically, yeah. So basically, what we've had is we've just created a true random number generator based on radioactive decay. Michael has successfully gotten this up, and we'll just have him flip that on and run some tests. Michael goes off and does the media reports, and does the media reports, by doing some internet, sits back, watches TV, orders in pizza, watches Netflix for a couple of days, goes in every so often, remembers to feed Joseph, and tends to goes out for a little bit, takes a walk in a local park. He's just immortal, so nobody ever will. And this is in broad daylight when he's doing this. Goes out, does that, and yeah. So yeah, goes out and even decides that because of the new place they're at, that he's going to buy a ficus. Just buy a little potted plant or something to spruce the place up. So pour some water on it. Figures there needs to be a little more life in this place, and yeah, so spreads a little life in there. Puts in some stuff, tends to his plants, kind of gets back, and in the process of this, decides to get some and gets onto his next project. The next project he gets onto will be another intelligence science role. At one point in this, after a few days in, Bob comes in and says, "Hey, Bob is watching the TV and says, 'Hey, Michael, get over here.'" And then, of course, the scene happens where they compile the media reports on that missing children thing pertaining to the vampire. Bob goes out to continue the investigation, and Michael gets back to work. The next project that Michael gets involved with, is he takes an opening. He takes an opening and pulls out a new camera. Works out and let's put on his craft score now, because this is going to be that he's reworking the wiring specifically for a. He's actually working on tweaking and massaging a wireless transmitter. So this is going to be a craft roll followed by a technology roll followed by a craft roll, and we will get this working. So here we go. Yeah, that would have been standard difficulty anyway, but with the tweaks, yeah, difficult. Yeah, 5 successes in 1 roll. He easily gets the technology he needs to do. Now this is Dex Craft, just to make sure, because this is some very finicky wire work he's doing to get the to try to tweak up the transmitter to a much higher capability than normal. And 2 successes. Let's give him a second roll. He doesn't feel it's quite good enough, so we'll toss on another one. And 1 success. He still doesn't feel it's good enough, so let's try another one. This is another rotating success. Okay, he gets 2 more successes. He still doesn't quite feel it's quite right, so he does it again. This, of course, mind you, is taking him several hours, and he's just not seeing the perfection on this thing quite well enough. And that one doesn't work, so he just gives up in frustration because he's not feeling so good. But the good news, and actually he's broken it. He's broken a key piece of the wiring. He gets everything set up and then breaks. So what he does, he says, okay, I'm not. He realizes he's getting too tired, goes to sleep, wakes up. This is probably, over the course of this, this has probably been transpired over about 2 days, maybe 3, give or now. So now he's up to about day 5 or 6. He basically goes, I've lost track of whenever the events have happened. But yeah, so basically he goes to sleep, gets back up the next day during the daytime, continues to feed Joseph, gets more work, attempts to re-roll for this particular thing again, the craft roll, because it's just not quite right, and that works. So 3 more successes. He's been able to repair the damage. He's back to where he was before. Let's do 1 more craft roll just to try to get exactly to where he wants to go. And I think that success ought to, that last success ought to do it. No, almost. There's 1 more tweak he wants to tack on. Neutralize successes. He can't quite get it. Pushing for perfection is so. Pushing for perfection in this line in a line of work is so bloody difficult. There we go. Now I got that exactly. Now that'll be able to transmit perfectly. Now he rolls a computer roll to this is going to be yet another technology, and it's technology followed by computer roll to sync up the 2 pieces of tech. At standard difficulty now, because he knows that this is in his forte. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes there for the technology end of it, and to sync it up with the computer. Correction. I meant 6 dice, not 4. My bad. Drop that to 6. And the 2 10s got neutralized, so 2 successes. It's a little grainy. He'll keep working on re-rolling this just to see if he can get it better. Yeah, okay, 3 successes. It's reasonably good quality, but it's still not quite. It's not quite synced up to his liking. He wants a higher resolution. Nah, the success got neutralized. He ain't gonna get much more off of that. So he takes a break, goes get some lunch. Decides to watch Game of Thrones on Netflix for a few. And then, of course, in the process, now that he's got some of the basics, he finally he goes back, attempts to rework the new system again 1 more time, and for the camera, for that resolution, and 1 more success. So it's as good as he's gonna get it. Yeah, it's as good as I'm gonna get it, I figure. And then, of course, now to get started on the new piece that's kind of the fun one. This is now the interesting tech rolls followed by the crafts roll. Now this is the most dangerous of the bunch, so I'm gonna bump his difficulty quite a bit higher for this. Basically he's already got the mix preset, but because of the fact that there is a danger factor in this, he's gonna have to work it a little higher. So he takes out the respective. This will be the technology roll, followed by the. This will be the technology roll filed by the relevant aspects. So here we go over the course of the next few days. Gets the pack, tries to set up. This is going to be the technology roll just to make sure that he understands the design that he's currently working on and building. He starts watching Dynamo Magician Impossible again and watches over the clip several times. Where he's gotten this idea to try to improve upon it, just to make sure he understands the process correctly, and rolls an intelligence technology for it, and it doesn't work quite as planned. So no, not a botch, but a fail on that one. So we're going to give that another try. He goes back over the clip, watching it another 6 times just to make sure he damn well knows it. Then he goes back and attempts to make sure that he understands the technology, and 1 of the successes get neutralized. Again, I'm putting this at difficulty 7 because this is new tech, so he only got 1 success, kind of doesn't, and he still doesn't feel he understands it. So let's give this another try. That works. With 3 successes at difficulty 7, he finally has a better understanding of it. He still wants another couple, so this time he starts getting to work on drawing out the design plan, just to make sure that he understands how he's going to assemble the new tech. 1 more just to go over it, just to make sure. 2 of the 10s got neutralized, but 1 of the 10s still got through, so 2 successes. So with 5, he thinks he has enough to be able to get started on this. And now that he's got the design out, he realizes there may be a small detail missing, so goes back just to double check everything. And yeah, he's got that plan down pat. So the design's working now. Now to actually craft the thing. So this is going to be the crafting. This is going to be the crafting version, and let's see if he pulls it off. 1 success initially, so he at least establishes part of it. Goes through. This is the project for the concealment now. And let's see. So we go back down, and yes, another 4 success. 4 successes, bang on. So he gets the first part of the crafting done. Let's give it a collection with a small. Let's give it a collection with a small trial run. He runs the craft 1 more time, and this is the testing procedure to make sure he's put a little fuel in, and he's doing a testing procedure to make sure that it works properly. 2 successes, so still not quite up to his specifications. He goes back and rejiggers it a little more. So this is another craft one to finesse it, see if he can get it much more precise. See if he can get the effect much more precise. 2 successes. So it gives another test run. We're using Dex and Craft for the test runs. 3 successes. So it looks like it might be better, but he still doesn't think it's good enough. So he's going to do one more run. That doesn't work, so he can't seem to figure it out anymore. He'll give it 1 more test run just to see if he can get any better. Nope. Yeah, no. So he takes a break, goes off, does another little bit. You know, watches some more Netflix, decides to put it away for a bit, comes back and finishes off the project. 1 more go. This is 1 more attempts to finesse at it when he's come back with a fresh mindset after a couple of days. And only 1 more success, so he can only see 1 more modification. Gives it another test run. Still only about 1 success. So either he's not doing it very well. He gives it, goes through, discovers that there's been some gunk in the filter, so he cleans out the filter and tries again. And this is another test run. 2 successes, so that's about on average. Gives it 1 more cleaning and replaces the filter, just to tries to perfect the fineness of the output. And yeah, we got it. 3 successes. So yeah, he's back up to max now, so he can. So, well, it's between 2 and 3. Yeah, it's about as good as it's gonna get. I think I think Boss is gonna like this. I think Joseph's gonna like this. At this point, I'm gonna cancel this. Joseph is now awake, and I'm now going to put in the tag for him. This is now transpired after all the after the last few scenes. So Michael goes on and does things for a couple of weeks. Then we have Joseph waking up, the scenes he does, the presentation to the prince, all that kind of thing. Now, I had a glitch. Good thing I found that. Let's try that again. Now, where was I? And basically, what happens is that this is all after this next section. We've now seen the flashback of the last 2 weeks. The tech projects that he's been working on, and now Joseph is going to come back in one day, take off his outfit, and he's kind of relaxing, healing a level of ag. He's now trying to get up to wounded from mold, and this is where he's at. Choose logo. Where are we here? Anyway, my character's not quite wearing his outfit at the moment because this is a... Okay, why can I not find my... There we go. Flip to the right color. Okay, so here we are. So, Joseph has basically come in after his last scene of meeting with the prince and everything. And he's feeling good. He's taking off his cape and top hat and stuff, and is just kind of taking off his suit, and he's just kind of relaxing now. And Michael pops on and goes, "Hey boss, I got some new stuff for you. I've been working on some projects for the last couple of weeks, and I think I figured out some possible issues. Now that you've been set into now that you were considering you got into a combat. I mean, yeah, you frenzied, but even so, if you get into combat again, I think we got some stuff that might be particularly beneficial for you." Michael, sorry, flipping back on. Joseph says, "Okay, sure, Mike. All right, Michael. Show me what you got." At this point, Michael has him says, "Why don't you try?" Michael says, "Boss, give me about an hour to work with your suit. I just got to install a couple of minor things here, and I'll just integrate some stuff with your suit here, and and you'll be ready to go in a jiff. Give me about half an hour to get it all worked out." So this will be another half hour or so. Joseph, in the evening, because of the fact that he's got nothing else to do, decides to settle down with a book. And while doing that, we're just going to do one final craft roll to integrate all the working into the suit. And yeah, this is, like I said, just integrating props, standard difficulty, so 3 successes. Since we're making this a rotating success, let's just make this so this way it's fully concealable, in addition to actually fitting into the suit properly. Another 3 successes. So yeah, actually let's just do it one more for good measure. And again, Joseph will work on the hiding factors, but this will be one more for good measure. Yeah, the 9 got neutralized, but still 2 successes. So at this point, Joseph puts his suit back on. Now hang on while I actually get my suit, so this way I can play in character for this. Where's my top hat? Alright, so here we go. Almost done. Tum-tum-ti-dum. Higgledy-piggledy-bum. Higgledy-piggledy-bum-bum. Alright, so. Alright, come on, where's my suit? Where's my suit? Okay. Okay, whoever messaged me, I'll deal with that in a sec. But anyway, so yeah, just finishing off here. Oh, holy crap, I didn't realize it was full 20 minutes. Right, so where was I? So yeah, anyway, so yeah, now that Joseph's put on the after the half hour is finished, Michael says, "Okay, boss, ready for you to try on." Joseph slips his suit on. Joseph flips his suit on, and in the process of this, yeah, so Joseph flips his suit on in the process of this and tries it and is like, "Huh, it doesn't. Oh, I feel something a little different in here. What's all this?" And at this point, Michael says, "Hey, boss, why don't you try closing your hand in a fist and then try open it up in the air." Joseph says, "Sure," and he closes his fist, and as he opens it, he actually moves his hand around, and upon seeing fire on his hand, actually, we're going to leave the fire on because of the fact that he's seeing fire on his hand, and now I have to roll self-control for him, so this way he doesn't frenzy. Where are we here? I need to find my character sheet. I believe it's the courage roll. Where's my courage roll? Come on. Courage is 3. And I'm going to say difficulty 7 for this because he's never actually seen this kind of trick before. Or to be more specific, or he may be aware of this, but he's not quite sure what's going on. So, difficulties. Surprisingly, he initially jumps back at the fire and then goes, This is odd. What did you do? What did you do? What did you do, Michael? Michael says, just close your fist again in order to be able to shut the fire off. He does so, and as he closes his fist, the fire completely disappears. I like it. What is it? I like it. What is it? Says Joseph. Says Joseph. Michael pops up and says, Michael says, that's a new flame proposer I made. It's based on a trick I saw a magician named Dynamo from England use. He actually created a thing where he clapped his hands or opened his hands and had a flame come out, basically, make it appear like it was making hellfire. I know you guys. I remember you told me that you guys are highly susceptible to fire. So what you do is basically just make sure that you're holding that palm up as long as the nozzle under the jacket isn't exposed. There's enough fuel in there. I've managed to put enough full fuel in there that you have enough for about 10 fireballs that you can generate in your hand in one go. Or if you release it all at once, you have enough kind of like aerosolized napalm in there to set an entire room on fire. Consider it a last resort. Basically, you and everyone else in the room will die. Also, if you check your pocket, you'll have to do something about the performance to hide it yourself. But I set a new camera on there. That camera is now equipped. That camera is like the last one you had. It's the same concealable, except it's got a new transmitter on it that's good for up to 30 kilometers. It's 406. It's got full video and audio, 456-bit encrypted. And the best part is that the encryption code, the original seed, is off this radioactive decay-based random number generator I built. Due to some specs from a guy in Switzerland, John Walker, the founder of AutoCAD, had some ideas on this. So yeah, with that in mind. Oh, and here's the cool one. And he opens the third box. And at this point, I will pull out the actual item that he will have been using. Sorry, it's a good thing I actually have this item in question. The item, here we go, and he hands an item to Joseph. Joseph takes it. Joseph takes it and says, "What's this?" Michael says, "Toss a couple of those in your cloak. I bought about 20 or 30 of these guys. About 30 of these guys. They're $10 a piece. There were Enola Gay smoke bombs." White-colored smoke, they will produce about 20,000 cubic feet of smoke. You toss one of these puppies down, and you should be able to at least hide yourself for a few seconds. Grab one or two of these. You never know. They're kind of like your last-ditch escape effort. What do you want? But yeah, these three new tools should be good for your working. Joseph smiles at Michael. Joseph smiles at Michael and says, "Michael, you've outdone yourself this time. This is brilliant." Now, Michael, I'm going to have an instruction for you. Assuming that I am within the 30-kilometer radius or that you're in a car in the nearby and monitoring things, in the event of masquerade breaches, there's a new. Now, I'm assuming I can just flip it on and with a little press or something, and it'll work, and you guys will be able to hear me, see me, and what have you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Good. Then here's what I want you to do. I now have the ear of the prince. The prince has basically said he doesn't stand on ceremony and that we are to do any direct reporting to him. We have his phone number, his mobile number. So here's the new plan. You are officially to go and basically you are effectively to go and to basically you are to transmit all data that I ever end up transmitting to you directly to the prince. In the event that something ever goes wrong, if a masquerade breach ever happens, now here's the thing. I will probably start using this camera for day-to-day use, especially considering after what's happened. Especially considering that we have this magician going around and possible other masquerade breachers. We can't be too careful now. So I will have this camera regularly recording. Now here's the thing. You are to delete any footage that does not directly pertain to a masquerade breach, or a masquerade breach or violation of any other tradition. If you catch a violation of tradition, Specifically, if you catch a masquerade breach in the act, that information is to be directly transmitted via text to Lysander Eudosh's cell phone. You have his mobile number. You can do that. Anything else is to be instantaneously deleted unless I say the word code alpha. No, correction. Unless I happen to say the word wombat in conversation. If I say the word wombat, you are to file that stuff away. So this way I have evidence at a later point for something. Okay, boss. Have fun out. At this point, he sees a. At this point, there's a text, and Joseph picks it up. Oh, the Ventru Primogen is calling me. I've got to run, but I'll catch this later. Oh, before I go, one small thought. Thank you. And at this point, Joseph is going to roll Dex and Performance. He is -2 dice, but I'm going to spend a blood point to up his Dex by 1, so he will be up at 4 dice accordingly. And this will be difficulty. This will be his usual difficulty. Actually, because of the fact that he's hiding some new tech on him, he's going to tweak the camera on, do a couple of misdirects to try to hide the stuff. So this will be larceny. So yeah, it's Dex larceny. So this will be 4 dice because he's spending a blood point. And yeah, he will do this, and I'll put this at difficulty 7. No, actually, standard difficulty 6. He normally has been about for 45 years, so he'll be difficulty 5. Yeah, difficulty 7 to try to conceal these things just to make sure. And it doesn't work. He botches. Michael laughs. Michael laughs at him because as he fails trying to hide this, so he tries again. We'll give this one more shot. Rotating success. This will take about an hour before he leaves. And 2 successes, so a little bit better. Still not quite enough of a hide. He wants it better off. He asks Michael. Michael says it's not quite well enough hidden. So he does one more run. This time he's now at 3 because I've only spent 1 blood point. Actually, we'll bump him 1 more blood point in the second round. This will drop him to 8 because he's been consistently kept at full. So yeah, so he's down to 8 blood point. He's down to 8 blood. And 1 more success. Yeah, no, we're going to do 1 more. Sorry, I need at least 4 on this to make sure that this is properly secured. But because of the fact that this is because of the fact that he's hiding this well, assuming that I managed to get the difficulty, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, no, that definitely works with difficulty. Yeah, so there's 5 there, so he's good. With that, Joseph says thanks to his retainers, and pops out. So note that he's at 8 blood, 5 willpower for the next scene. Here we go. Catch you guys on the flip side.